Hi everybody, welcome to my channel and welcome to my homestead. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like this video if you like it, and hit the notification bell. So if you're not already aware, there was a hurricane. It's now been downgraded to a tropical storm, Hurricane Henri. And I just wanted to touch on this. It's an ongoing event right now. Um, and essentially it's affecting the New York and New England area. And there's just a few things that kind of caught my attention that I thought I would make you aware of if you're not already. So right here on AccuWeather, it says it's been just over 30 years since a hurricane delivered a direct hit to New England. The last hurricane to make landfall in New England was Hurricane Bob in 1991. So again, I really think that this is just another sign of the times, especially the fact that it's happening this year. You know, uh, 2020 and 2021 have been really crazy years. A lot of either unprecedented stuff or things that have happened that are very rare have been going on over the last year or two. And this is just another one to add to that list. So, down here you can see some of the damage. This is in Pawcatuck, Connecticut. You got some downed trees and branches and stuff like that. Here's the impacted area. It looks like right here, risk to property, to lives and property, the orange is high. So it's like almost like perfectly in between Boston and New York. This entire area, including all of Connecticut and Rhode Island, are in that high category. And then Boston and New York are in the moderate. So impacts through Wednesday in the morning. Wow. Flooding downpours, rough surf, power outages, coastal flooding. Yeah, okay. Go down here, you can kind of see the path that it's taking. It looks like it's going to pretty much go right over the eastern part of Connecticut, over Rhode Island, western Massachusetts, up through Vermont and New Hampshire, and then finally kind of ending in Maine, and then possibly, I guess, leaving or dissipating as it heads out into the Atlantic. So that's what they're looking at, it looks like right now. Let's see if there's anything else here. Henri rainfall. Rain 4 to 8 inches in this dark green area. And it kind of covers that same place, except for it includes New York City, Long Island, northern New Jersey, and then southwest New York State, and even just a tiny bit of Vermont at the very extreme southern part of the state. All right, let's move on to this next thing here. Here's some pictures. This is in Brooklyn. This article is from last night. It was kind of just before it made landfall, and I guess there was already flooding that was going on. You see this guy here. I mean, that's pretty deep. That's going up to his hips. They're having, I guess, people in this area right here are having to abandon their cars. This looks like a zombie escaping. Down here, it looks like there's a bunch of water getting down into the subway stations. And I guess we're just going to have to watch and see how this unfolds, if any of this is going to get worse or not. But that already doesn't look good. I mean, this is as of like last night. Yeah, last night. So let's move on to this next one here. Now, I don't know if this means anything from like a second coming signs standpoint, but I wanted to highlight it. It says, unbelievably, this is just about the exact same location where Tropical Storm Elsa made landfall earlier this summer. Before this year, we hadn't had a landfalling tropical storm in 15 years. Yeah, you can see it crosses right here. Uh, I think it's offshore or just kind of like right there in the southwest part of Rhode Island. So I don't know. That's coincidental. Again, I don't know if that means anything, but it brings to mind the two eclipses, the one that happened in 2017 and the one that's coming up in 2024 that also make an X. That one makes an X right over America, but it's just something to kind of look at a little bit. Maybe just remember that. Coastal flood alerts. It looks like there's a lot of areas that are under the advisory right here. You got the bottom half of Rhode Island, and then you have all along the coastline of Massachusetts, including Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket. Right here, this is where Yarmouth is. That's where we went on our honeymoon. It's a beautiful place. I love Cape Cod, but yeah, it goes up along here, Plymouth, and then it looks like even Boston is under this flood advisory from 10 p.m. Sunday until 2 a.m. Monday. So yeah, I don't think that we've seen the end of it yet. Let's see, additional rainfall. Okay, wettest summers in Boston since 1872, and this one is right now at the number 6 spot with a total of 17 inches. It was 17.78 inches of rain. Yeah, what is summer? Wow. If it hasn't been the rain, the weather story has been the heat. This is also currently the warmest summer on record in Boston. Interesting. Wow, you guys, there's so many crazy things happening this year. All around the US, all around the world. We gotta take note of what's going on. Let's come over here. Flash flood warning. This was an hour and 13 minutes ago. Flash flood warning in effect for New York City. In effect all the way until 5:45 p.m. So, yeah, so that's for about another hour or so at the time of this recording. And for parts of northeastern New Jersey and southern New York state. And this warning includes more than 11 million people. So, yeah, that's bad. Henri continues to gradually weaken and slow down as it moves inland. Here's some more images. This is in Westerly, Rhode Island. Connecticut governor urges residents not to get complacent as Henri moves ashore as a tropical storm. Here's an image also from Westerly, Rhode Island. More than 100,000 people will lose power in Rhode Island as Henri moves through state, governor says. Now, I actually have the power outage map right here. And as you can see, the rest of the country is, pretty clear, not a whole lot going on, but there's already a lot of stuff going on here in this New England area. So Rhode Island, it appears as of right now, is the hardest hit by power outages. It's in this orange category, and specifically, there are 72,000 people without power right now. In Connecticut, close to 30,000 people. Massachusetts, 12,000. So, um, yeah, that's probably just going to continue to climb. All right, this article, USA Today. The storm pummeled the region well before landfall. Saturday was the wettest day in New York City in 7 years. Uh, Again, another just okay. The National Weather Service said the 1.94 inches of rain that fell in Central Park from 10 to 11 p.m. was the wettest hour in the city's history. More rain fell in that 1 hour than any other since record keeping began, the National Weather Service and the city tweeted. Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee said the state was being hit hard. About 80,000 homes and businesses were without power early Sunday afternoon, according to the website what we just checked. Up to 300,000 people, more than a quarter of the state's population, could lose power before the storm passes. Wow. Wow. You know, See, this is why we always need to be prepared with emergency supplies, um, food storage. Just you never know what's going to affect your area. This is something that hasn't happened in 30 years. Since 1991. That's when the Gulf War was going on. That's when George Bush Sr. was president, before Bill Clinton. I mean, that's a long time ago. Um, if you're from this area, let it put down in the comments what your thoughts are, and how you're being affected, and maybe what preparations you took. But if you live in this area, I'm pretty sure you weren't really expecting this year. Until this thing even showed up on the radar. You probably didn't expect anything really too terrible to happen this year, and all of a sudden it just, here it is. So, you guys, we always got to be prepared, because you never know when something's going to happen. This has happened before, but we got to watch out for those rare events. And then there's things that can happen that are unprecedented, right? That have never happened before. We just never know what may happen to us. So we all, no matter where you live, you always need to be prepared. We got to follow the advice of church leaders to have food storage, have emergency supplies, um, have emergency plans in place in case disasters hit our area. Just always be prepared, and especially right now, because we know that we're in the last days. These things are expected all around the world. If you're a believer in the Bible, if you're a Christian, and especially if you're a Latter-day Saint, we're expecting these kind of things. This really isn't a surprise. And I would argue that the frequency and the rare things that are happening and the intensity of what's going on around the world, from floods to volcanoes to earthquakes, to droughts, wildfires. It's all just getting more and more intense. And regardless of whether some of this may be man-made, or by weather manipulation, weather warfare, or whether it's natural, it doesn't really matter. It's happening, and it's really been happening for the last year or two. And there's also been a lot of other significant events that have happened this century already. Things that we haven't really seen before. There was that huge tsunami while I was on my mission. I think it was Indonesia. I still haven't like really um, looked at that because I wasn't able to because I was on my mission, but I believe it was Indonesia. Of course, we had Katrina in New Orleans. Um, Japan, there was that. I think that was back in 2011, where there was that just massive tsunami, and excuse me, and not just tsunamis. There's been a whole list of other things that have happened this century, and right now, for the last couple of years, there's a lot of stuff going on. Let's be aware. Let's take note. Let's make sure to get right with the Lord, because you never know when your last day on earth is going to be, whether it's being raptured, if you're taken away and like actually removed from the earth, or whether you pass away, you know, from whatever cause. We don't know, but what we can do is we can be prepared. Let's see if there was anything else here. President Biden approved emergency declarations for New England states impacted by Henri. He urges governors of affected regions to take advantage of FEMA assistance. He also says there's potential for widespread consequences across New England. Here's flooding in Helmetta, New Jersey. Looks like the water's all the way up there to that guy's hip. And wow, that's a nice little house, really pretty. But whoever lives there is not too happy right now. This is also Helmetta, New Jersey. Yeah, so I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up there. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you liked it, and hit the notification bell. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more content. We're going to be watching these kind of events as they occur. We're going to be watching for the signs of the times. We'll talk about church stuff, and we'll also throw in a little bit of homesteading. But take care, be safe, and I'll talk to you next time.